Hello everyone, breaking news, and it's official that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has now completed the purchase of his 27.7% stake in Manchester United, following the approval of all conditions, including the FA and the Premier League. Sam, we knew this was coming for a while. We have spoken about Sir Jim, Ineos, the operations around the whole structure and what's happening at the club at the moment in depth. Like I said, we knew it was coming, but now it's official. How do you feel?
It's good. It's good to finally have this saga over with. It's been over a year. November 2022, I believe, is when they announced the strategic alternatives. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So over a year, we've finally got ratified. And while it may not be everything that we wanted it to be in terms of like the Glazers going 100%, this is probably the best deal we can do with the offers available on the table. I think with the football structure, them taking all football structure away from the Glazers and future measures set up for possible like Glazer, no more ownership, that kind of stuff. So I think this is the best possible outcome that we could have had. And yeah, I'm happy, man. And they've not waited for this official ratification to start making changes. They're already fucking doing it. Omar Barada's in. Dan Ashworth is all but done. They're looking at a recruitment director. I'm sure there'll be more changes as well on top of that. So yeah, really, really happy. I'm glad it's finally fucking over. Finally.
Well, as you can tell, I was in the fucking bath when this news dropped, as always, because United never like to drop news at convenient times. It's always in clusters within an hour of each other, or it's just more sporadic.
Or Christmas
random.
Eve. Do you remember Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve, like they just like to drop. So I was quite literally in the bath listening to a Rogan podcast, and then my phone buzzed. It was like because there was a little hints. We had Muppeteers tweeting a couple of things. Couple of other accounts Twitter was like, what's going on here? Is this people were talking about De Jong and fucking Sancho and like loads of conspiracies kind of forming, and obviously it's official done. It's not like I said, it's not nothing we didn't know. We was all kind of expecting this, but it's nice just to have that kind of weight and clarity in it, just the situation to know it's done now. There's no more worries to do with Premier League or if the FA are gonna have an issue with it. And I suppose the main focus is a little bit what we've spoken about in the recent days is getting these appointments in now. Ready for summer 2024, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this Dan Ashworth thing. It seems like Newcastle are going to make it as difficult as possible for him to leave. So there's possible it might be gardening leave. I read an article, it might have been The Athletic, where they said United are prepared to wait and miss out on him this summer if it means getting him next thing. So that could be a possibility, which obviously would suck for us as fans because you want that structure in place beforehand, but United are not going to be bent over a barrel anymore, it seems. We're not going to overpay. We're not going to bow to other clubs to win, which I respect. I think that's the right way to go. But yeah, did you have the quotes from Sir Jim and Joel?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got all them. Yeah. So we can just dive into that, no problem whatsoever. So for anyone who's a bit of a fan of the financial figures and the kind of depths into that, I will read that out for you. I'm not going to explain it because I'm not a financial expert. I'm not.
We don't understand it.
None of us have a clue. But I'll read it out, and if anyone can kind of interpret it, then that'd be fantastic. And put it in the comments. So United further shares have been issued in return for the initial $200 million capital investment made by Ratcliffe upon completion, taking his total ownership to 27.7%. A further $100 million will be invested by December the 31st, and his ownership will then increase to 28.9%, because there was a lot of people asking about, if Ratcliffe is going to invest a certain amount of money, how is he going to get this back? Is it later down the line? And all that kind of stuff. So anyone who's interested in the kind of financial figures, I mean, Laurie Whitwell put out an article before that's very, very good. So I'd advise you to go and give that a read. But yeah, that's the situation with the finances at the minute. Ratcliffe, of course, himself has put out a statement, which I'm a fan of. He said to become co-owner of Man United is a great honour and comes with great responsibility. I feel like he's probably been watching Spider-Man tonight because it reminded me of that a lot. This marks the completion, RIP Uncle Ben, the completion of the transaction, but just the beginning of our journey to take United back to the top of English, European and world football. Does it have that feeling about it? Does it feel like it is a little bit of an X factor? Because to be honest with you, Sam, when we was all discussing this, Qatar, Ineos, back and forth, I was more favour of Qatar just because it was 100%. you know, the whole kind of situation around that. But you can't deny that Ineos have started the best they possibly could, haven't they?
Do you know what as well? And it's been easy win after easy win, hasn't it? Like,
yeah,
they've not had to do anything massive in terms of like some stuff we didn't already know or you should already expect from football owners of a club. Like, every other football club that's successful has a sporting director. Every other football club has a CEO from a football-based background. Every other football club has a recruitment structure and a recruitment head and all this sort of stuff. We are the only club that doesn't have this. The only one. And it's like, we've been saying it, you've been saying it, everybody on the channel's been saying it, and we're not football, like, we're just fans. Like, we're just fans of the club. Like, we don't have any expertise whatsoever. So if we can see it, why the Glazers couldn't see it is beyond me. And then on top of that, he's done all the right things. He spoke to the fan boards in Must and other things. He was at the Munich Memorial, and and he's been to more games in the last sort of couple of months than the Glazers have in 14 fucking years. So he's got easy wins, and it's like, that's all you need to do as a football club owner, man. Make us successful and put everything in place to make United the most successful club, because we're one of the biggest clubs in the world. So if you put the right people in, success will come, man. And then you make more money. And it's just like the Glazers just weren't interested in that whatsoever. So he's done easy wins, but they were needed regardless. They were needed. And he's finally getting there. There's some couple of comments. I don't know if you can see it or you want me to read them out, but...
No, you can go for it if you want.
Yeah. Moondog 94 in the chat. Gentlemen, the information slide at the bottom is a nice touch. You're moving up. Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, my friend. Brian Casey, shout out to Brian Casey. Real Reds Ultra from day one.
Legend. Absolutely.
What a fucking great day, beginning of the end for Glazers. Look at the moves he's made before he officially took charge. Just think what he can do now. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a fan of what he's doing. I also kind of have to balance out a little bit, not to be that party pooper. But look, the appointments that he's making are fantastic. Omar Barada's, no one on the planet expected that. Literally, even the top tier journalists were surprised by that appointment, and that's huge for United, because anyone knows, if you've been doing a channel like we have, or journalists, no, United don't make moves without noise. So there was literally dead silence on that, which was great, because we like deals like that. So getting him over the line as CEO is mega, because he's done a fantastic job when he was at City. And bringing through Dan Ashworth, if it does go through after he's done trimming his garden, and that's his actual garden, not what other people are thinking, then yeah, fantastic. They're all great appointments, but it has to sync up as well, and they have to, make the right decisions, because it's all good hiring the right people, but then if there's not connectivity between each one and cohesion, then what's the fucking point of getting them together? It is essentially the Avengers of that kind of world, but we need to see how it's going to function first, don't we?
Proof's in the pudding. That's what it comes down to. You can hire all the people in the world, you can get the best players, the right structure and stuff like that, but it has to work, it has to click, and it has to become something other than what we've been over the last 14-15 years, which, let's be honest, is a mid-table club. We haven't won a title in that long. We've won minor trophies at best in FA Cups and Europa Leagues and a League Cup, which for Manchester United is not good enough. Manchester United needs to be winning titles. Manchester United needs to be winning Champions Leagues, multiple titles in Champions Leagues. So we need to make sure these appointments work, and these appointments are given the freedom and the movement to be able to do their jobs correctly, and are also backed financially. So when we do spot, say, a Julian Alvarez, an Erling Haaland, for like City's example, or a Luis Diaz, or do you know what I mean? Those sort of players, we can go out and we're the first person there, because we've already made that connection. We always have those things set up. Our scouting network identified him months ago. We've spoke to the agents, all that stuff, and it's just like, bang, get him in, done. Whereas, like you said, with Manchester United, anytime we do a transfer, everybody knows about it. It's protracted for 2 years, and then we end up overpaying or not getting them. And it's just been the same and same after that. So we need to change that. And with these people in position, they need to make sure they deliver on that. So this summer's going to be, you said it multiple times, this summer's going to be so important. So fucking important.
And I know you mentioned Easy Tap, well, we both mentioned Easy Tappings, the things that they've done, but I can't imagine the amount of planning that has gone into this, in terms of, even just the preliminary talks when they're talking about potentially owning a stake in Man United, and what's going to go into it and how they're going to structure it and all them conversations. I'd love to be a fly on the wall just to listen to, like, you know, when they're doing I don't know if the 100-day review is still ongoing, to be honest with you.
I think they're in it. I think they're in the middle of it.
They're in it right now, right?
So Dave Brailsford, I think they mentioned Dave Brailsford's still looking at other stuff, like in terms of that. I think they identified, all right, CEO's number one target, football directors X, and then recruitment's X, and then I believe there's some analysts they're looking at as well. I think that's one of them. So yeah, I think they're in the middle of it.
I remember doing a show with Shreyas, and this was early days when Qatar was like favourite and talking about war chests and all these words that are being used in description. And I remember saying, look, if we had a 10-step plan, here is what we would do. And it's all the things you've literally just mentioned. CEO, we need to look at recruitment, invest in the stadium, you know, anything around that area. Just little things like that, and they've instantly done it, so you can't complain. Now, a certain individual who is very controversial online and big in the United community, in Mark Goldbridge, obviously wanted Qatar. He was twerking for Qatar, and you know, he had his reasons, 100% takeover, you know, all this kind of stuff. But I've just seen a clip now, and he's like, "Don't forget the Glazers are still here," and it's and it's like, I feel like it's. I'm not going to go to Mark Goldbridge rant, right? But it feels like it's not coming from a good place, and this is where, like, people are just so. There's still people now talking about tribalistic, and it's like, look, the decisions that they're making seem fantastic at the minute. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but this is what most fans wanted for the club. This is what, you know, football focused first. So how can you go against that? It's bizarre to me. I don't understand it.
They didn't get what they wanted. That's basically what it comes down to.
That's what I'm
saying. They wanted this. They wanted X, and they did, and then we got Y. And instead of going, okay, we've got Y, and I can't do anything about it, and there's nothing that's going to change. Like, it's official now. Let's get behind it and let's support it and let's see what they can do. Because as United fans, it should be club first above everything. Like, yes, the Glazers are still here, and there's still players here that we don't like, and maybe you don't like the manager, maybe you do, maybe you don't like Old Trafford, you want a new one, maybe you want to stay at Old Trafford. There's all these different opinions, which is fine. It's a football club, but everybody's allowed an opinion. But the football should be first. The football club should be first, and you must want the best for the club possible. And what Sir Jim is doing, Ineos is doing, is trying to make that happen. He's trying to make the club the best possible club it is first. And how do you do that in your 10-point plan? All those things. He's doing them all. We're getting a new stadium or possibly renovating Old Trafford. It's happening. They're already looking at the council. The council's announced there's a rejuvenation going in there. He's doing it. He's hired a CEO. He's getting a director of football. He's hiring a recruitment head. They're restructuring and rethinking the financing. They're doing everything that we said we wanted from Qatar, and people still not happy. And it's fucking bizarre. Shout out to Tim99. He's just put a super chat in for £5. Welcome, Sir Jim. Absolutely, Tim. Absolutely. I could not agree more.
And I mean, this whole fucking channel, the reason why it's green and gold was based on the fact that we hate Glazers and whatnot, and it came from a point of passion. So we're sat here saying, you know, we know it's not 100% takeover. It would have been fantastic if Sir Jim came in with this attitude, and it's 100%. That's like the ideal scenario. But the point is, it was either this or Glazers just stay and nothing. You know, the stadium continues to rot. The fucking minority and these guys still in charge.
Some hedge fund minority investment who've got no interest in football and just want to milk more money out of the club.
Yeah, and so because I was of the opinion that they've, you know, by doing this they've given the Glazers a lifeline, and they did need investment. But like you said, there was no doubt there was these companies like Elliott Management was it, and big American hedge funds that was ready to throw cash at him. But they've got a win-win situation, like we touched on, because Ratcliffe comes in and they just go, "You're going to get in charge of football and turn it great again." Yeah, more money to line our pockets. There is an actual statement from Joel Glazer, believe it or not. It's fucking 28 words, but he said something.
I bet he didn't even write it, did he? I bet he didn't even fucking write it.
It's one of their messages as well. Looks like it's Chat GPT, the way he's going about. I would like to welcome Sir Jim as co-owner and look forward to working closely with him and Ineos Sport to deliver a bright future. That is it. That's all they've put. So there's just nothing in. And you don't expect a fucking statement anyway, do you? No. Yeah, so that's what the Glazers are saying at the minute, and I'm sure they're happy to sit back and let Sir Jim take control. And I just hope there is a future for him to take 100%. Right, that's where eventually where we want to get to.
Yeah, well, like you said, they got the best of both worlds. If Sir Jim's successful and we win titles and we become Manchester United again, that's more money in the club, which means more money they can take out of it. And if
Exactly.
it goes all tits up and wrong, they could be like, well, we weren't in charge of it. He was doing it. We didn't do anything to it. So they again, the Glazers never do a deal that they ain't 100% winning out of and not going to lose anything. This is how the Glazers operate and always have. So they're winning. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what comes out further from this now, because I know we've had the official ratification, we've had the official thing and all that sort of stuff. We know Ashworth is on the way. It might take till next year. It could. It's all within the ether. And we're looking at Jason Wilcox possibly with the recruitment head. In your opinion, what should come next? What should be the next step they should do?
I feel like the Ashworth thing is a tricky situation in it because of the gardening. I don't know how stubborn Newcastle are going to be on that, but the summer is the only thing I'm focusing on at the minute. Recruitment and the stadium's one of them things that's going to take a while anyway. It's years. So that's not like an immediate thing. It's getting the right people in, getting results on the pitch. First and foremost, so giving Eric Ten Hag as much support as you possibly can from now, or whatever you can. I don't know what can happen, but if he has the confidence that a structure's being put in place to support him, and he can focus on the football, then that's all you want as a coach. He's had to deal with fucking everything, putting out fires left, right, centre, and a manager should be doing that to a certain extent, but not to what he's done. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. So if he has the right structure around him, I genuinely think he can be successful. I do, because we've never ever seen it before, ever. For like 10 years, it's mad, utter madness.
He was a tracksuit manager at Ajax. Like, he wasn't involved in all this other shit that he's doing at Manchester United. You had Mark Overmars and Edwin van der Sar doing all that sort of for him, didn't he? He was just focused on coaching, style and stuff like that, and it took him a bit in Ajax, but eventually once it clicked and once he got there, won 3 Dutch titles in a row, got to Champions League semi-final, won a couple of Dutch Cups. Like, he was successful, majorly successful, and that team got pulled apart because of the talent he brought through and the players that he brought through. So I think you're right. I think if he's able to focus on just coaching the team and the tactics and all that, and you don't have to worry about any of that shite, I think you might see a better more successful Ten Hag. Do you think the training ground's next on the list? You think that's next? Because they've spoken about that as well. Yeah,
I famously remember Chivy saying about fucking Melwood when he asked him about training ground. Do you remember that? And he was like, I don't give a shit training on the fucking park. But for what Chivy may say, and I love Chivy, but I think, again, small margins, increasing things like this, like very specific things. You talked about sports science, remember you saying about that, like a certain amount of hours of sleep, and things like that, whether you like them or not, will make a difference. So, people turn their nose up and say, what do you mean, taking pillows from home and da. They do. They all make a difference. So the more of that, the better as far as I'm concerned. And if they give United what they should have, at least a better training ground than fucking Leicester. I mean, Leicester is one of the best in the country and in the Championship. Like,
and
how United...
They only spent 80 million on it as well, which I know 80 million is a lot of money, but in terms of football, that's like an expensive transfer. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if you just forego an expensive transfer and spend it on the training ground, and you've got talent, the likes of the talent that Kobbie Mainoo's come through, obviously. There's people very excited about stuff, people in the under-18s. Shea Lacey is one of them. If you spend the money on the facilities and you've got these talents within the system, that's only going to benefit them, and it's only going to make them better and be more able to reach their potential. Like, we had Ronaldo on the Piers Morgan thing, and he said a lot of stuff I disagree with, but some of the stuff I absolutely was with him on. He said the training facilities hadn't changed since he left, hadn't been updated.
Can I just say, I absolutely agree with you. The Muppeteers have just tweeted some absolutely fire.
What has he said?
I'll let you go check it out, and I want to get your live reaction to it. How class is that?
I'm going to put this on the screen. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, if anyone's got the Muppeteers, it'll be on tomorrow night, by the way. Is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed. Yeah, James is on tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. So make sure you're here at 7 o'clock tomorrow, and you can. Let me just put this on. There we go.
You know what? Fair play to, because he's fucking got abused off all the Qatar fans and all.
Oh, mate. The shit he had to put up with. Oh, you're wrong. There you go. Have a look at that. There you go.
It says on the grave, beloved by gullible idiots across the world, he will forever be remembered as a fraud.
United just.
Fair play.
Oh,
Fair play.
James, I love you, mate. I fucking love it. But yeah, James will be on tomorrow. So if you're watching now, you're watching on demand. Maybe you're watching tomorrow. James will be on at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So please do come join us, because he's dropped a lot of shit. Like you said, took a lot of shit, dropped a lot of stuff, and he's been pretty much spot on in every single thing he said. So I hope he gets the flowers, and I hope he gets his plaudits, because he fucking should. I'm
interested to have a deep discussion about that tomorrow and get them all, because we can talk about it to a certain depth, but his knowledge on that situation's like real deep. So yeah, I'm interested to hear everybody else's thoughts as well. Let me know how you feel now it's officially been ratified. Talk to us in the comments section.
Shall I read some out? Yeah. Brian Casey, he's literally just said who's the best in the position, went and got him, didn't care they're already employed by clubs, shows the pull of United, they left City and Newcastle. Exactly. Brian, yeah, I agree, shouldn't have to make these appointments in the first place. The club would run properly, it'd be a seamless takeover. Yeah, there you go. Moondog, that impression of Mark was spot on. Moondog's very happy with your Mark Goldbridge impression. Brian Casey, people are going to expect him 400 million spend in the summer. Ain't going to happen. FFP is still a factor. This summer's going to be about selling players for decent money. And it's also going to be about buying players who are a decent price, but prospects and people that we can turn into like stars. We're not going to go out and sign Ronaldo, Varane, Casemiro, Jadon Sancho, the obvious buys. Like, that's not what we should be doing. We should be buying players that are like, okay, 30, 40, 50 million at a push, but they're going to become something. That's what we need to be doing. Moondog, how confident about keeping Kobe? Mate, he's not going to sign him up for a 30-year deal. I don't give a shit. This kid is ridiculously good. I think they are putting a new contract on the table, I believe.
I think they're pushing it, but he's staying like stable at the moment. He's not, you know, he's being Kobe. It's just not too hot, not too cold, just measuring it.
I agree with Brian. This summer is all about selling your waste and bringing in fresh, exciting players for reasonable prices. Yeah, Moondogs, put it spot on. There's like 18 people in the chat, so please comments, anything, questions, we'll answer it before we go. But
subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done already, and you're happy about the news. Please do hit that subscribe button. If you want to become a member, click the link in the description or the join button next to the notification bell. I've got an interesting video dropping, I think it should be this weekend, on Ineos Summer 2024 and what I think is going to happen. And that's quite a detailed video, so if you do want to become a member for an exclusive content, then yeah, make sure you check that out. But I think just to touch on that, Sam, I do think I know we've said it again, and at the risk of repeating myself and sounding like a broken record, but this summer 2024, just to go away from the usual reactive kind of summer and these
protracted, drag it out for fucking all summer.
Yeah, bizarre like signings towards the end of the window, which they always say was planned, but you know for a fact that it was just reactive, and it was the only guy that could go and get, you know, Sabitzer, fucking buying, like all these kind of things, these signings. So, are you feeling very confident now ahead of this summer? Do you think the potential for United? I suppose what I'm asking is, over this next year or two, where do you see us going, in your opinion, from what you've seen already?
I'd like to see steady improvements for the next couple of years. I'd like us
small
margins. I'd like us to sign players. One that I don't know anything about would be great. Like, because every player we seem to have signed, we just see. I'm like, yeah, I already know who they are. Like, it's like the Michael Elise and Pedro Neto. It's just like very obvious signings. Like, it is what it is. Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, etc. I'd love to see us like go out, and then I'd also love to see us sign a player who's not Dutch or played in Dutch league or used to play for Ajax. That'd be nice. One of those three. Just forget that stuff. So yeah, go out and sign Zubimendi, for example. Like, I don't think many people know about him, so go out and you'd be like, this is 40 million Zubimendi, and you're like, right, statement signing. You go out and you sign Onana from Everton for like 40, 50 million, statement signing. Like, those kind of people, you go out and you sign it, and it's like, we're building a squad and a team rather than buying individuals and stars, which is what we've done throughout our history since Sir Alex left. Like, think about the amount of players Sir Alex signed who weren't stars, for example. Do you know what I mean? Darren Fletcher, Ji-Sung Park, Raphael, John O'Shea, Wes Brown. these guys weren't stars. Like, they weren't. But they were part of this team and part of the squad that won titles, won Champions Leagues, were dominant for years and years and years. And that's what we need to do. We need to build a squad. We need to build a team. In a minute, we've got a team of like individuals and stars. We're slowly starting to tweak that round. People like Leacher, Kobe Manu coming into the team, Hoyland. You're starting to build that squad out slowly, but we need more of that. We need more of those type of players. Like, that's what we need, and I hope that's what we see this summer.
I think networking opportunities as well. We talk about, I know Jean-Claude Blanc hasn't necessarily got like a specific role in United. He's more the sporting director for Ineos, isn't he?
Yes.
But he's definitely tapped into everything that's going on at United at the moment, and the connections he has financially, commercially, just everything is one of the top of his game at the moment. Omar Barada, likewise, from speaking like 5-6 different languages, the effect he's gonna have with commercial deals and things.
Worked at Barcelona, worked at City,
4 or 5 languages, which obviously always helps with communication, with speaking to different kind of agents and all these kind of things. Dan Ashworth, the connection obviously through the FA, all the work that he did there with England and stuff, and then coming up through the ranks, West Brom, Brighton, Newcastle, and then taking that big next step. Like, the connections are all falling into place perfectly, and to go from that, from Murtaugh, Richard Arnold, he even played like Darren Fletcher's a technical director, and he got that through doing coaching at United. And you sat there thinking, how the fuck has he got a job? Like, that would never happen under Ineos.
You had how long of Ed Woodward just continuously just cocking deals up and just ruining opportunities for players, and it's just like he's part of the reason why Jude Bellingham is not signed for Manchester United. He's part of the reason, because he showed him round with John Murtaugh and stuff like that. That's the reason why Jude Bellingham went to Dortmund instead of us. It's fucking ridiculous.
And we're seen as a joke in the market as well. That's well known from Romano said it before, that agents will take the piss with us. They know, like, whereas you've seen clips. Yeah,
Ajax did with Anthony. Like, they just Edwin van der Sar said in an interview, we're just going to see how far we can push it with Anthony, because they didn't need to sell him. They didn't want to sell him because they'd already made the money on Leacher and Timber to Arsenal. They already had enough. They didn't need it, so it was like, we'll just see how much we could push it, and we ended up paying 85 million for him.
And we've seen clips of Omar Barada as well in discussions saying, with Maguire, ironically enough, 40-50 mils at the price, and you start developing that reputation in Europe then, and you don't get taken for as mugs. You're half the price that you pay for Anthony. Let's say you end up paying 40-45 mil. If it doesn't work out, it's not you selling for 20, you cut your losses. It's 20 mil like loss, whereas now it's 60 odd million quid we're losing out on.
If you paid, what was it Ollie valued Anthony? It was 25 million, I think. It was Ollie valued it when they looked at him. So if you bought him for 25 million, it don't work out. I said, that's Dan James money, innit?
Exactly.
Like, nobody's going, I can't believe we paid that amount for Dan James. Like, do you know what I mean? They're just like, he wasn't good enough, didn't work, let him go. That's the same thing, 25 million. Like, it's not much in United, but 85 million, a lot of fucking money.
And people throw it in your face saying, it's not my money, I don't care, but it has a detrimental effect on the future, and especially all the shit with FFP at the minute. Like, you can't afford to be wasting fucking money like that, even though we generate a lot. We need to be a bit more subtle, and I think that's the way it's going to go. I'm super, super excited, happy it's finally announced now. Hopefully the form continues on the pitch and we can get ourselves into Europe, because that's obviously going to have a huge effect on and a huge say in what we do in the summer as well. So I think it's only positive from now. I can only literally see it going upwards. The more appointments we make, the better the football gets. So it's nice to actually have it confirmed and just not have to worry about that side of things and just focus on the football now. And I think that until now is the priority in it until at least the summer.
Finish as high as possible in the league, get Champions League football, and then just see how far we can go in the FA Cup. If we win it, bonus. If not, let's just go as far as possible. And then summertime is huge. Absolutely huge for Manchester United this summer, not just in terms of buying players, but in terms of selling, setting our stall out, the way we're structured, the way we go about scout, all that sort of stuff. It's mega, mega important. We need to make a stand this summer how we're going to go forward.
Absolutely. So there it is. Manchester United have announced that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% investment in the club has been officially ratified, done and dusted, and the Ineos summer is upon us. Do we have any more comments to read out before we head off?
Yeah, a couple more comments. Brian Casey, why would any young player want to leave now? Absolutely. Just don't. Yeah. Why would you? He who should not be named would be two of the wanted list in all the papers. Yeah, fucking, what was it, Barcelona? 35 million they were willing to offer him. Right. Get fucked, Barca. Absolutely get fucked. Sign a Chicharito, we knew nothing about him. Exactly. There you go, another example of players. Brian Casey, thank lads, keep up the good work. Hopefully soon you get to change the course scheme for the channel. Or the colour scheme, sorry. Glazes out. Yeah, I thought we were very close this summer. I was like, oh shit, I was sending designs into the group chat going, yeah, what do you think? But yeah, they're still here, so I don't have to worry about it for now. But hopefully,
we just do it like the background, like 25% of it, just red and gold.
Half of it through there.
Yeah, and then just like a loading bar, just go up through the finger.
Yeah, hopefully in like 3-4 years, it's different. It's no longer green and gold because that means the glazes are gone. But yeah, appreciate the chat as well, Brian. It's nice to see you, and we miss you on this channel when you're not here. So appreciate you.
Yeah. Every single one of you as well. Appreciate all of you tuning in on such a late day when people have work and stuff in the morning. But hopefully you've sat there with a smile on your face, and let's see what's the next couple of days bring, because I'm sure there's going to be more kind of announcements. Dan Ashworth might get announced. You know, there's loads of stuff ongoing. So as always, stay locked in. Turn on that notification bell so when we do go live, like today, because it was a little bit late, you won't miss it. Smash a like on the video, subscribe, and go on.
Muppeteers tomorrow, 7 o'clock. James from Muppeteers. Please do tune in. Get your questions as well. Drop the questions in the chat when the stream goes up, so we can answer some of the good ones. So, but yeah, please do check that out because that's going to be fucking fascinating.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Definitely come and tune in for that. And yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. Take care, everyone. Yeah, peace.